What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's time for AEW Dynamite as AEW World Champion Adam Page faces Lance Archer in a Texas death match, and the Forbidden Door is open. Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the latest wrestling news, including Shane McMahon actually still with WWE, Tony Khan admits a huge botch, CM Punk teases Samoa Joe in AEW, Becky Lynch is blasted, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Keith freaking Lee. And while Keith Lee's AEW debut wasn't a complete surprise, it was still as huge as the Limitless One is considered one of the WWE's biggest failures in terms of pushing an NXT superstar on the main roster. Lee got a huge pop, as you'd expect given his popularity on the indie circuit and WWE, and now it's up to AEW to utilize him properly. AEW struggles with booking big men, perhaps because the company consists of smaller wrestlers. Nonetheless, Lee's ability to combine power moves and high-flying moves should make him an easy fit for AEW style. Lee is one of the biggest big men since Bam Bam Bigelow, and we hope that Lee can prove he is a true main eventer. Number 2, the Forbidden Door opens. Keith Lee wasn't the only wrestler to make a surprise appearance. Tony Khan's promise that the Forbidden Door would be open again came true when New Japan Pro Wrestling star Jay White appeared during the SuperKliq's beatdown on Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. White, the current leader of New Japan's Bullet Club faction, brings a new dynamic to the alliance between the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, but also raises the question whether Adam Cole can trust him. WrestleTalk's Sanchez Taylor provided fans with a reminder of White's past actions against the Elite, actions which could happen again. The Young Bucks have reason to be wary of Jay White, with the New Zealand native pretending to align with them in New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2018 before attacking Kenny Omega. More recently, White confronted Omega and the Good Brothers at Impact Slammiversary 2021. The story also hinted that White will be around for at least a few weeks. How AEW plans on using him remains to be seen. Number 3, did AEW tease Jeff Hardy's arrival? Not only did Dynamite feature some dazzling debuts, but it appears AEW may have thrown out more clues that Jeff Hardy is headed for AEW. Matt Hardy left the ringside area during the match between Private Party's Isaiah Cassidy and Keith Lee match, with the announcers describing Matt's exit via jumping a guardrail as erratic. Wrestling News' Paul Davis pointed out how that is a reference to Jeff Hardy jumping the guardrail at his latest WWE show. That was described as erratic by people in WWE at the time. And now fans are speculating whether Matt's faction, the Hardy Family Office, might be breaking up as Matt awaits a potential reunion with Brother Nero. Number 4, a definite dream team. The CM Punk and Moxley team was everything fans expected from the two best performers in wrestling. Punk's choice of Moxley as his mystery partner, which is always a fun twist on a match, makes sense given the two grapplers' history together when the Shield secretly helped CM Punk late in Punk's WWE run. Punk and Moxley are a team that already has us shouting for more, and it's easy to see them wrestling for the AEW World Tag Team Championship at some point, especially since AEW's tag division is seen as being as prestigious as its singles division. Number 5, don't sleep on Serena. Last night's Dynamite served as a painful reminder for AEW's women's division not to sleep on Serena Deeb, as AEW continued her build as a downright dangerous competitor, with Serena dispatching rookie wrestler Katie Arquette in what seemed like seconds. Deeb's new 5-minute rookie challenge could be a fun way to get her over further and eventually get over Rookie, who holds her own against her. And finally, the badass Buckshot. Last night's Texas deathmatch for the AEW World Championship did a lot for both the belt and Hangman Adam Page, with Page's incredible Buckshot lariat finish on the challenger Lance Archer ending an already magnificent match on a sense-shattering conclusion. Now, in case you missed it, Archer's partner in crime Dan Lambert removed a top rope in an attempt to keep Page from delivering his finisher, but Page went to plan B, using a referee as his platform to hit the buckshot on Archer, planting the Murderhawk monster through a table and beating the referee's 10 count. Of course, that was just part of an action-packed affair, with both men beginning their bout with a backstage brawl that saw them pummeling each other in and out of the ring with various implements of destruction, with neither wrestler escaping without wearing a crimson mask. In fact, Page even mentioned that he's sick of bleeding every month. You know what response you were going to get for that. And not only was this a fantastic match, but it was a vindication for Page, whose reign as champion has been lackluster due to a lack of title defenses and matches. But for whatever reason, AEW hasn't promoted Page's championship reign other than his 2 matches with Bryan Danielson, resulting in Page appearing to be a transitional champion. Last night's match, as well as what looks to be a looming title defense against Adam Cole, should change this. This match was good for Lance Archer too, as the big man has been underutilized in AEW. And we gotta admit, nothing bad about last night's Dynamite, as AEW kept things moving at a fast pace from start to finish with some excellent segments, including what looks to be the looming breakup of the Inner Circle, 2 big debuts and some excellent matches, including the main event for the AEW World Championship. Dynamite was fire last night, and it's clear AEW is putting pieces into place for its upcoming Revolution pay-per-view. Of course, definitely nothing ugly about last night's Dynamite, as AEW featured a huge debut by Keith Lee, an astonishing appearance by New Japan Pro Wrestling sensation Jay White. Perhaps the most amazing thing about last night's episode was the miraculous method of fitting so much into a 2-hour show. Critics may bemoan AEW bringing in new talent, but the promotion continues to find a way to pack every Dynamite with as much as possible, and best of all, it's managing to avoid the dreaded 20 pounds of crap in a 10-pound bag effect. What did you guys think of Dynamite? What did you think of Keith Lee's debut? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Shane McMahon still in WWE. Atop of the news today is a story circulating that Shane McMahon may still be in the WWE. McMahon, whose Royal Rumble backstage antics angered WWE superstars and WWE Kingpin Vince McMahon, was said to be gone from the WWE. And while this remains uncertain, a tweet from Marco Massotti, the owner of the South African Sharks rugby team, has some speculating Shane O'Mac is still part of the WWE. So grateful for a night out with brothers Shane McMahon, son of WWE Vince, and Doug Sifu, co-owner of Florida Panthers, excited for a partnership between WWE and rugby. While this shouldn't be seen as solid evidence that Shane is still with WWE, it does deepen the mystery over whether Shane is gone for good from the company or is just cooling his heels at home. Next up, Tony Khan admits a huge botch. AEW President Tony Khan is coming clean on a blunder he made last week, hyping another wrestler walking through wrestling's forbidden door. Khan, who promised a big debut on the 9th February Dynamite, tweeted an apology to fans saying, "I didn't secure Jay White until Sunday. I realized that after the fact that Friday night I butchered my own definition of forbidden door in hyping tonight. I heard the fans' feedback and wanted to ensure that tonight was a special AEW Dynamite for all. Thank you everyone who watched." Khan's definition of the forbidden door as someone working in another promotion became a reality again when New Japan star Jay White showed up. While he may not have an extended run in AEW, which remains to be seen, even a presence for a short program adds prestige to AEW and establishes it as a promotion where the creme de la creme want to work. Now, although AEW has been criticized for bringing in too many ex-WWE superstars, bringing in wrestlers like White for short programs is one way to build interest in the promotion without weighing down the roster anymore. It may be time for Khan to consider bringing in wrestlers for shorter campaigns, particularly those who don't want to be restrained by long-term contracts. Next up, Becky Lynch blasted. And appears Ric Flair still has some issues with current Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, as seen from the Nature Boy's comments on the recent edition of his Woo Nation podcast. Slick Rick discussed some recent kayfabe comments from Big Time Bex about the recently returned Ronda Rousey. Once again, she's not Ronnie, she's Ronda Rousey, and anybody who is stupid enough to call her Ronnie and make a joke of her presence, what she brings to the company, is out of her mind, aka Big Time Bex. Hey Ronnie, welcome back. That's exciting, that's really exciting. How about you thank Ronda for showing up, because I'm not the man anymore, I'm generic. Who am I? Big Time Bex, the last kicker? I have no idea. The 16-time world champion still seems upset with Lynch and WWE's attempts to use his nickname The Man. One would hope that Rick would know the difference between Becky's kayfabe comments towards Rousey and her real-world beliefs. And finally, CM Punk teases Samoa Joe in AEW. And last but not least, CM Punk found himself scrambling to find a tag team partner to battle the Pinnacle's FTR, and while the Second City Savior found a great partner in Jon Moxley, he also reached out to Samoa Joe, tweeting, "Are you in the country?" While Punk was only playing his usual social media games, as he also asked Danhausen to team with him, the idea of Samoa Joe wrestling in AEW has fans of the Samoan submission machine talking. Factoring Punk's legendary rival with Joe in Ring of Honor, and there's plenty for both men to do in AEW, either as rivals or tag partners. But there you have it folks, our look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.